each and every one of you for being present and listening to what the residents have to say. I'm thankful each member is reminded that it's the taxpayers who are in charge of this board and the decisions that the district make. I want to start my comments by saying I only wish to speak to things that I am sure of and to things that I have, not to things that I have no factual basis to. It's to no one's surprise that technology is constantly changing and developing and changing the way we do things all the time in our daily lives. Some good, some not so good. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'd like to bring to your attention the Parent Square app. Although the Parent Square app and many others like it are a seemingly convenient way to communicate for some parents, students, and staff, for many others it is incredibly difficult to use or to even log into, or receive any relevant information about a parent or a guardian's child. It may be no surprise to you that many class action lawsuits for various reasons have started across the country involving apps that schools decide to use as communication platforms between parents and teachers and faculty. Again, I only want to speak to things that are factually true and that I'm sure of. Many of the app companies are secretly taking all the personal information parents enter and are selling it to third parties. This is factual, being litigated across the country now. This claim is based in fact. Many of the apps have been caught secretly eavesdropping on its unsuspecting users. Just a simple Google cursory search, you'll find many, many stories of that. Although you can say Parent Square does not do that, or we have been assured that they don't do that, you cannot with a clear conscience make that statement of fact that they do not do that. You would be speaking to something that you're not absolutely sure of to say that those things weren't happening with this app. The even bigger problem here is that by insisting that parents use this app, you as a government are compelling free speech. You're forcing parents, citizens, to use only your method of communication. We don't know if it censors. We don't know if we have a guarantee that any grievances that we have actually will be accepted or make its way across the platform. We don't know if things are filtered out that parents are saying. We just don't know. That's a massive problem. That is a violation of the First Amendment of the United States. Another huge problem this app creates is that it clearly violates the Americans with Disabilities Act. Only a demand by the district of this is how we're going to do things, or we'll do it your way. Like, if you guys are saying we have to use the Parent Square app to communicate with teachers in class and we don't really have another option, we haven't been given the option first to opt in, not to opt out, but to opt in, you can't do that. That's not America. That's not our country. That's called tyranny. What about disabled parents? What about the poor who can't afford a cell phone, who can't afford internet? What about people who are seriously challenged by technology or the ability to understand it? What about parents with learning disabilities? Is the school requiring parents to tell administrators that they have a disability in order to opt out of the app? Some pretty scary stuff. And some pretty serious stuff, and could end in massive lawsuits. It's not a matter of if, it really is a matter of when. Forcing this app on parents is also an absolute clear violation of the 14th Amendment. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States. You're operating under the authority of the state. You are abridging my privilege as a parent of freedom of speech to communicate the way I want to with staff, with faculty, with teachers. You don't have that power. If you want to force faculty to communicate a certain way, you can do that. You pay them. You can't apply your policies to the public as a whole. You can't do that. There's a reason no other government agency would dare attempt this. The lawsuit money in this is deep and rich. I personally have not been able to communicate with my student's teacher via this app since its existence in the district. My children's mother has had the same issues. I have spoken with many parents. They all have the same problem. We get logged out, we can't get logged back in, we don't get all the information, we get a flood of information. No one knows what's going on, and in my experience, when I have called the school directly and asked to speak with a teacher, I've been told, no, you're not allowed to speak to the teacher. We do everything through the app. When I have requested paper forms, no, sorry, it has to go through the app. Everything is on the app. This is unacceptable. Even members of the boards, in an effort to show sympathy or empathy.
Mr. Tremblay,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to.
I'm almost done.
Okay, I was just gonna, because we're only supposed to give you 3 minutes.
Oh, I got like 30 seconds.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Even members of the board, in an effort to show sympathy or empathy, or has actually had difficulties with the app, has shared that they've struggled with the app as well. This needs to be dealt with right away. This needs to be an opportunity for every parent to decide how they'll communicate with the district. That option should not be in the app either. It should be assumed that all parents would like to communicate the traditional way and opt out of the app if they so choose. That's all.
Y'all good to it?
All set. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Okay, next up,
I just want to respond to one thing. With respect to your comment about parents not being able to talk to a teacher, if that's the case, that's not the expectation. Anytime a parent calls, you will have the opportunity to speak with the teacher, or you and I have spoken many times.
We've talked about
If
this.
that's the case, I'll look into that, but under no circumstances is parents who are meant to ever, replace that phone call. So that's not the expectation, that's not our expectation. So just, for the record, if a parent calls and asks to speak with the teacher, they're always given an opportunity.
It's been my experience, or I wouldn't be here.
Okay.
so I think, okay. All right, now it's time for presentations. First up, EF Tours Summer 2024 Europe Trip Report and Itinerary for the 2025 proposed trip, Mrs. Janine